School is a system that is forcing you into failure that's been created by very smart people that is designed for you to fail. Everybody nowadays only talks about the fact that you have to do well in school so you can get into a good college and you can become a doctor or a lawyer or whatever it is, that you basically need a good job or else you're just not going to make it in life. Because apparently now school is the only way for you to achieve success. According to society, school is the only way that you can become successful and work a 9-to-5 your whole life, which is apparently the only way to be successful. I think this is a very weird opinion because there's so many options out there, but people keep talking about you have to go through school and you have to go through this whole stupid education system to get there. What I really don't understand, especially, is that, I know this probably people that are watching this video already know this, but it's been talked about enough that the biggest example is business teachers. People teach business, or if you're getting a business degree or like whatever it is in like finance or something. See, business teachers are on about how you should set up a business and how to calculate everything and all those things that you need for a business. But then 9 times out of 10, they don't have a business themselves. They don't have anything that a typical rich person would have, or they don't even have the mindset for it. It's really crazy because they went through this whole education and they're just passing on that same education to you that you are going to learn if you want to become a business person, which is literally designed for you to fail because they failed. So if a literal business teacher failed to set up a business through the school educational system and they are now teaching that same educational system, what do you expect? Do you expect to somehow be able to learn how to become a business person by taking business even though that person that is teaching you hasn't? So that is one example that I wanted to put out there. But basically why I think, of course, I don't have any hate towards people out there that are teachers or like really like the school system. You need school for certain things like becoming a doctor. You obviously need education for that. But I feel like there's some certain things that people go to have an education for that could be done in a very different way. What people don't understand is the fact that you don't need school to be successful and you don't need school to achieve and do amazing things. For example, I plan to quit school when I'm 16 since that is the law in Ireland that you can quit school after that age. But the thing is, whenever I talk to that about anyone, whenever I say to anyone about like, I want to quit school, they're like, what are you going to do? What college are you going to go to? You won't even be able to get like the easiest, simplest job. So then I'm like, okay, this person is immediately doesn't know what they're talking about. All of my friends and everyone I know thinks that you need a good education to have a good life. There is nothing wrong with consistently learning in your life because you need that. But that doesn't mean the only way to learn is through the school system. Another example I want to put out there is that example where you look at cars and you look at a car from like 100 years ago and you see the way the cars have improved. You look at technology devices, phones, the way they have improved over the last 2 decades or so. And you just look at all these different things, whatever it is, most of those things have improved, like over years and years of hard work. But then if you look at a classroom from 100 years ago and a classroom now, there isn't that many differences. It has not been improved. The school system has not been changed for a very, very long time. And I completely disagree with this because people think, oh yeah, we found the right system, so why not continue using it? But the thing is, the world is upgrading. People don't have to go to college back in like when you were born in the 80s, you had to go to a college. But nowadays, there's so many things you can do, especially thanks to all like the digital things you can do, like set up a YouTube channel or I don't know, market something online or have an online service that you provide to other people. See, there's so many of those things that you can do without needing a school education. But people don't realize this for some reason. They're still stuck in the past. Even like, so parents are passing on to children that you need to go to a college because there's no other options. I am still waiting for this generation to realize you don't need to go to school to succeed. Everybody's out there going like, yeah, go to school, become a doctor, and then you can work a 9 to 5 until you're like 50, 60 years old. And then you can finally retire while you're basically your whole middle of your life is gone, and you have to sit there and wait until you die while the government pays you whatever they pay you, which isn't probably a very big amount. And even if you have savings saved up, you haven't used them your whole life when you were young. See, I want to enjoy my life. And what is the point of this whole 30-year grind, this job grind that we are forced into, just to come out as a 60-year-old or even a 70-year-old, just for like to have another 20-30 years of freedom? Like, no, I don't want that personally. I want to have my whole life. I want to be rich for my whole life, and I want to see how life is when you don't have to work a 9 to 5, when you don't have to go through all this stress, because school is literally, it's designing you. It's literally making a perfect blueprint of you to continue to work a 9 to 5 when you quit school, when you graduate from a college or something. There are so many people that have amazing degrees but aren't getting accepted into basically any jobs. So they have to go into jobs like waitressing, or I don't know, driving like delivering pizza, or some of those stupid things, which, don't get me wrong, those are really important jobs because you need someone to do them, but that doesn't mean you have to do them. Do you get me? It doesn't mean you have to do that job just because nobody else is doing it. At a young age, you are sent to school, probably primary school, and you go in there for like a couple of years and you learn the basics. You learn maths, you learn English, or whatever it is you're learning, whatever country you're from. And you go through that, and then you go up to like a higher school. In my example, that would be secondary school. For some people, like in America, that would be middle school and high school. And you continue to learn, and there are more responsibilities as a child, a literal teenager, thrust on you. And people constantly, teachers are completely telling you, you're going to need this when you graduate. You are going to need all this. You're going to need a uniform. You're going to have to learn how to dress and look the same as everybody else. You have to act like everybody else. You have to fit a certain standard that they set up for you. See, and I don't want to fit that standard because I know that standard isn't going to get me anywhere. School isn't a bad path. That's what I want people to understand. It is not a bad path, but that does not mean it's for everyone. Certain people are designing that path for everyone. Let's take an example of it. The basic example is you have to take tests in school. This is another thing I hate. There's tests on certain things. Most tests are on memory, whether you can remember this from history, from geography, from science, whatever subject it is you're doing. It's whether you can remember what you read in your textbook. And everybody's different. Some people have amazing memories and they find this part of school really easy, and some people don't. And some people are better at different things. But we are all put in the same test to make us literal slaves. We are put in that same narrow line to make us the same as everybody else. See, these are the expectations. And another thing, I was talking to one of my friends the other days, and I was there asking her, I was like, why are you constantly worried about your test results? She was constantly getting worried about how much % she gets on a test. And since coming to like high standards nowadays, if you get anything less than 90%, it's just horrible. So she was like, oh yeah, because I don't want to disappoint my parents, and you know, it's really important to have a good test score to get into a good college. These are basically what all my friends say, which is totally normal because it's how society made you. And if people keep saying this to me, all my friends keep saying this, even adults say this to me, but I don't understand why a percentage or a number has to dictate how I live my life. Just because in a very narrow branch of whatever it is, geography, science, this narrow branch, I have to be good at it to succeed at this thing specifically, even though that's not what I want to do. For example, there's a lot of people out there that want to have completely different jobs. If you ask a huge percentage of people nowadays, like Gen Alpha or whatever it is, they're always out there and they're saying they want to be YouTubers. Now, this generation is slightly more educated, but they're just saying this because they think it's easy. Everything requires hard work, and people are too lazy to try anything other else than school because it's been bred into them that you need this school education to have a good job in life and to succeed in life, which I just think is completely crazy because everybody is different. Let's go back to the test example. Let's say the test is to climb a tree. Now, if you're a monkey, or if you're a sloth, or if you're one of those specific animals, you would excel at the test. But if you are a turtle, or a fish, or maybe a lion, or whatever it is, This is just a completely random example. How are you supposed to excel at a test that involves climbing a tree if that is not what you are made to do? How do you expect, how do you expect a bat to beat a fish in a race if that is not what they are destined to do? Because that's not what they are made for. We are all made for different things, and school is forcing us into certain jobs. They're literally forcing us into certain lives, and that is just not right. How, like, just think about it for a second. We all have to take the same tests, even though we're all different. We all have to act the same way, even though we're all different. And funny thing, this is the funniest thing. School keeps telling everybody, oh yeah, be unique, be all that. But at the end of the day, they are literally forcing us to be the same. We are being forced to be the same. It's just, we need to start changing something in the society, because this is not right. This is not how this is supposed to work. And see, all the people out there that are getting anxiety from school, the amount of friends that I have that have literal anxiety when they are sitting a test is just crazy, because that is impacting their mental health. All of these exams, all this pressure, all the parents, like the pressure the parents put on the child, it's crazy. Because you're still developing, and from that developmental age, you are still learning. So now you're being forced into thinking, I need that good test score. So they want you to become an overachiever, but they want you to become an overachiever in certain things. So when you finish school and you go to that 9 to 5, you are forced to be an overachiever in a group of people. And everybody wants to be that overachiever because they want to be the best, obviously, which is totally normal. And since they all want to be the best, they're all striving towards the same thing. But at the end of the day, the people that are higher, have a higher position than them, a manager or something, they don't care at the end of the day, because they are the ones that are getting the money. Those are the smarter people that decided, you know what? No, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to be like all those people out there that are like, yeah, we have to work a 9 to 5 half our lives. Those people that are up there in those higher positions are realizing, wait, this is just a system that is being specifically set up, that is setting you up on a specific path. Now, I have decided I don't want to become a doctor or a scientist or whatever it is, and I don't want to get on the specific path that school has designated for you. And it's okay if you have decided that, because maybe that's your destiny, but that is not mine. And trust me when I say this, it is not 90% of people's destiny either. It is not. So at the end of the day, everybody has to understand that, in my opinion, school should be an option. School should be a choice, because this is not healthy. This society, people from this society are crumbling, while there is that 1% of people that are thriving. You see, this is a bad and a good thing at the same time, because we could not have everyone to be entrepreneurs or millionaires or be famous YouTubers or, I don't know, work in very high standards. But because if everyone did this, there wouldn't be people like plumbers, or there wouldn't be people like those pizza deliverers. Like, you still need those people. Don't get me wrong, you need those people, but that doesn't mean you have to become that person if you don't want to. There is nothing wrong with your whole life. You want to be a waitress and you become a waitress. That is great for you. If that is your calling, go with that. Just be that, okay? But if it is not, and trust me, it is not, probably, it is not, 90% of people watching this video is not your calling, then become something else. Don't sit there and force yourself into an education that you don't want, that is being forced upon you. I really hope you all realize that there is different things you can do. Go out there, search more videos that are similar or different from mine, doesn't matter, that are going to help you find your destiny and find what you genuinely feel like you want to do with your life. Because once you find that thing, and first of all, it makes you happy, and even better if it makes you money. So, like, why shouldn't you do that? Why shouldn't you do that, okay? Like, why not? Oh, because of school. Oh, because I need to do this. No, you don't. You don't. Stop thinking like that. Stop thinking like that. You don't. Just stop being an effing zombie. Stop being forced into this path that you don't want to be on. But this is a very interesting topic, and I hope to discuss it more in the future. There will definitely be more parts to this video, because there's so much to talk about in this topic. But for now, see you guys in the next one. Bye.